everyone, I'm back yet again for another guitar tutorial, and I kind of have a little treat for you guys. I've got my electric guitar here. It's a fretlight, and it's just like any other electric guitar, except in the fret there's actually LED lights in here, and I have a program on here that I can use to show myself different chord shapes and all that stuff, and it'll light up the frets you need to push and where you need to be at on the guitar, which is really cool, and it's going to be really helpful when I'm teaching you this as well. So, as you may have guessed from the title here, this video is going to be on pentatonic scales, and I don't know how much about them you might know or anything like that. I'm basing it off of you're just starting with them like I just did, but here they are. Okay, so let's dive into this here. So pentatonic scales, what exactly are they? It's basically just one formation, like this first one here. I'm doing these in A. And there's it's just different formation for each scale, and they all sound really good together in like a solo or something. Pretty much every solo is based off some sort of scale, and a lot of the pentatonic scales are pretty popular with that. So with that, I'm going to zoom in here real quick and kind of show you the gist of what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see my cool lights on my guitar. Okay. Now, there we go. With the pentatonic scales, there's 5 different shapes of them. You could have guessed that from the pentatonic part, pent. But let's see. I'll teach you the ones with G first. There, that's the first form of the pentatonic scale, and basically it's just it's just like that, as you can see, set, and then it's called, this one's the G pentatonic scale, and that's because your root note is a G, and it's, let's see here, G, right here, there's a G too. So that's your root note is your G on your G pentatonic scale. Imagine that. And basically, as long as you have that pattern memorized, no matter where you play it, as long as it's the right area on here, it's going to sound, you can play a solo, and you can play it in this formation. But there are also other formations. That's when you can start throwing in all this kind of stuff where people are moving up and down the fretboard during the solo, and make it look pretty cool as well as sound really good. And so the second position, just make sure you got this position down really well. That's the first position, and your hand is like this. Of course, if you're right-handed like I am, you're pushing the frets with your left hand. That's the first position of the pentatonic scales. So I'll explain this a little better. In G, it would be the 3rd fret of the E, 5th fret of the E, 2nd fret of the A, 5th fret of the A, 2nd of the D, 5th of the D, 2nd of the G, 4th of the G, 2nd of the, or excuse me, 3rd of the B, 5th of the B, 3rd of the E, 5th of the E, and then on back down from there. That's the same throughout. That would be in a G. An A would be up here, I think. Yeah. That's an A, first form of the pentatonic scale. I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's what that is, and I hope you can understand this and get it down fairly well. Basically, difference between a G and an A, like with a chord here, like you got your bar chord G. Difference between a G and an A is a whole step, 2 frets. That's all it is with here too. Instead of starting on the 3rd fret of the D or the E, you're on the 5th fret of the E between a G and an A chord scale. So that's pretty easy to get the hang of as long as you know which scale you need to do. Now this is the G, or the second form of the G scale. There we go. And as you can see, these lower notes are the top of the first form. So first form was, there's a lower note, lower note, lower note, lower note of this next scale. Lower note. There you go. It's these bottom scales are all going to be the higher notes of the lower position. And this one is just of course in G, like I said before, is 5th of the E, 7th of the E, 5th of the E, 7th of the E, 5th of the, that was the A string. Oops. Okay, so 5/7, 5/7, 5/7 again on the D string, 4 on the G string, 7, 5 on the B, 8 on the B, 5, 7. And then back up. So this is the second form, second position. If you can memorize that. I don't have much time to do all this, which is kind of why I don't like doing it on YouTube. But you can, if you go to a YouTube video, find like anything by Marty Schwartz, he'll have a free ebook you can download, which is where I started learning them from, but then I just went to YouTube and looked up somebody teaching them. But you can download a free ebook, and it'll have all these positions in there. It just depends on what key you want to play them in, like an A or a G or whatever. All the ones I'm doing now, again, are in G. So that was the second position in G, and this is the third. And as you can see, the lower notes of this one are the higher notes of the last scale. So it goes like this. So you've got 7 on the E, 10 on the E, 7 on the A, 10 on the A, 7 on the D, 9 on the D, 7 on the G, 9 on the G, 8 on the B, 10 on the B, 7 on the high E, 10 on the high E, and then right back down. And then once you've got, even with these 3 patterns, if you got these memorized in G, you can just play up and down all this neck here, playing the right, hitting those right notes, and you could make a solo out of that and improvise a solo, even if you really wanted to. So once again, there's the third pentatonic position or formation in G, and we'll move to the next one. I really like this LED thing. It kind of saves me a bit of trouble and keeps me on task so I don't forget what I'm saying. So this is the fourth position, As you can see, again, lower notes are the higher notes of the last scale. Shocker there. And this one's pretty simple. So we've got 10 on the E, 12 on the E, 10 on the A, 12 on the A, 9 on the D, 12 on the D, 9 on the G, 12 on the G, 10 on the B, 12 on the B, 10 on the E, 12 on the E. As you notice, all the higher notes are on the 12, so you don't have to move your hand at all on this one, which is nice. And that's your, again, that's the fourth position, or fourth formation of the G pentatonic scale. And by the way, these scales I'm going over are all major scales. This is like you'd play something over this, like over a G chord. My next video will probably be over the minor scales once I get those figured out and ready to go. I hope there's not much delay in between videos. I like to have the videos up and ready for everyone so I don't have any downtime. But let's go into this last formation for you. So here is the fifth formation of the pentatonic scale, the last one. Don't know how well you can see that, but anyway, we're going to give it a go. As you notice, all the bottom notes are on the 12th fret like the last high notes were. So it's 12 on the E, 15 on the E, 12 on the A, 14 on the A, 12 on the D, 14 on the D, 12 on the G, 14 on the G, 12 on the B, 15 on the B, 12 on the high E, and then 15 on the high E. And make sure you don't get stuck in a rut with this shape. From what I've heard, a lot of people when they're soloing, they just kind of get stuck into this little rut here, and they don't. I mean, you can get all over here. Any of those notes I just showed you with that chord or with that scale, those scales, any of these notes would work. I mean, for a different feel with it, you don't have to play. You can play different notes on different strings for a different feel to it, which is really nice. And that's another reason why the pentatonic scales are a really good thing for everyone to know, everyone that plays guitar anyway. So once you get that figured out, you can even turn to like you could probably even take it and you could memorize it with different keys. You can play with it. I personally learned it first in E. That's the first one I learned. But if you notice, that goes down here. That's the one we just played up here on 12 for G. And basically they just keep repeating themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and as far up as you can go, and that's all there is to it. So hopefully now you know a little bit more about the pentatonic scales. I hope I was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm just about to my time limit here. My inbox is always open. If you have any suggestions for songs, I'm going to start doing songs. I've got a Beatles week planned because I just bought a book of their songs, so there's going to be a Beatle week coming up real soon. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.